The video title sounds like clickbait, and I already know that the colored-haired feminists are hating on this video, disliking it, reporting it, but this is not a clickbait. Andrew Tate genuinely helped me become a millionaire in my 20s. And in this video, I wanted to share with you guys the principles and tactics that I learned from him that helped me in my journey to become a millionaire in my 20s. We all know Andrew Tate. You know, some of you guys have your opinions on him. I will just start by saying that I don't agree with 100% of the things he says, but also I don't agree with 100% of the things anyone says, right? In my journey, when I listened to him, there were a lot of things that I took from him that really helped me mentally and really helped me in my business. And I want to share that with you guys, right? I want to focus on the good. I don't want to focus on all the negatives and all the things taken out of context. I just want to focus on the things that helped me in my journey and share with you guys, and hopefully it helps you guys in your journey as well. So my mentor Brandon had Andrew on his podcast in 2019, and when I listened to that podcast, you know, Andrew's personality stood out, and I was like, who is this guy? This dude's so interesting. So I ended up following him, and for a couple of months I didn't really consume any of his content, but in September 2019, that's when I started really listening to a lot of his podcasts and his content. And this was a time in my life when my business was exponentially growing, and I was 19 years old, you know, young kid. A lot of things he said resonated with me, right? They helped me with my personal life and my business life. And the first thing that I learned from Andrew that changed everything for me was self-confidence. There was a video that he had out for free. I think it was called Mind Tricks to Beat Depression and Be Mentally Stronger or something like that. And in that video, he says a statement that changed the way I look at my life. And the statement was, your life will not be worse if you walk around the world thinking you are the man. Now, he's not saying outwardly be cocky, right? You know, like right now in front of a camera, imagine I just said, I'm the man, look at me, look at all the shit I have. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that internally, when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you are alone, you want to believe that you are the man, right? There's no negatives to that, right? That's just preaching self-confidence. And that alone, I realized at the age of 19, made me more comfortable in my skin and gave me more self-confidence, because I walked around the world like I was the man, and I truly believed it because, you know, at the age of 19, I was the motherfucking man. And since his free content helped me so much, I ended up actually joining the War Room in October 2019. And there are a lot of lessons I learned during this phase. And I also have consumed and bought a lot of Andrew Tate's courses. So I want to boil some of my main lessons down moving forward. So let's get started with that right now. So the first principle that I learned from him, which is actually the first lesson of Hustle's University, is speed. And what he means by speed is have speed of implementation with everything that you do. So if you can get something done in 4 hours, realistically, you can get that done in 1 hour without sacrificing the quality. And I remember this concept, you know, it sounds very, you know, common sense and too good to be true, but people don't realize, like, we are so distracted and we allow ourselves to have so much time that we actually get less done in more time, right? And the analogy that he gave, which was amazing, and I see this in business all the time, is that if I was to start a business today and someone else was to start a business today, but I started selling today without being ready, while this person took like 2 months to get ready, then start selling, I had that 2-month advantage on him, not just for the sales, but also experience and all the feedback, right? So speed is very key when it comes to doing anything, right? If you want to build a website, like, why are you taking so long? Just get it done faster, you know? And try this with your team. Go to your team and tell them, yo, whatever we're doing, we can get done in a faster period of time. Let's do it. And I know, again, it sounds common sense. It sounds like, what the fuck, just do things faster. That's such a basic advice. But when you really take it in, and you guys can even watch a clip of, you know, Andrew Tate talk about speed, you realize this is such a amazing lesson. And I saw it change myself because I started doing things so much more faster and I was way more efficient. And so was my team. Like, my team was more efficient and faster. That's why the lesson of speed was one of the best lessons I learned from Andrew. Another huge lesson I learned, which I already kind of talked about, is, you know, the self-confidence and self-belief and how you look at yourself. I think just growing up, I had very low self-esteem and I always didn't think highly of myself. And I feel like sometimes I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. But watching Andrew Tate, he made me more confident in myself and being okay with who I am and how I am, not being afraid to be me. And I remember I was listening to a podcast where he said this that changed a lot for me as well, is when he said, any decision I make is the right decision, because in this moment I thought it was the right decision, and even in the future, if it turns out to not be the best decision, I know that my future self can handle that. And that quote changed everything for me, because I think, you know, growing up, I never had this self-confidence in my future self. I knew even if something happened, like maybe I do have the skills to do it, but I never thought, oh my God, like no matter what happens, I know my future self can handle that. And just being able to just have confidence in yourself in the present, future, past, whatever, that is so important. You being comfortable with yourself, you being able to be yourself, you being able to, say what you want to say, like that is very important. And that's a life that many people don't live. And I really like that Andrew always preached that, and he was always himself no matter what, no matter the feedback, no matter the criticism, he was always himself. And I think that's what he helped me with, is just be myself, be confident in my current self and also my future self. A concept that Andrew always talked about was the importance of having a strong network, right? And having the right environment. We all know that environment is destiny. And for me, I've always had amazing people around me, but I made sure to focus on that even more. I made sure to grow my network, but also make sure that I'm valuable to my network as well. And I have a strong enough network where if anything goes down, I can rely on. Andrew could go to Russia and there will be people that will take care of him for things in Russia, right? I knew I applied this when I went to Italy, and I hit up someone in my network that was from Italy, and they took like a 10-hour train to come show me around and give me a way better experience of Italy than if I was to go myself. So that's a thing that I don't take lightly, is my network and how strong and amazing people are. I know a lot of people are not blessed to have the best network, but you should develop yourself and grow your network, because you are only as strong as the people around you. And you got to make sure that the people around you are doing great things and push you and elevate you. And that being a focus of mine has really helped me right now, because I just make sure that anyone that I'm around, they are G's and they are actually benefiting my life instead of taking away from my life. And what I also liked about Andrew was that he was not one of these people online that only talked about money, right? He was big on improving every area of your life and being disciplined in every area of your life, right? Your health in order, your relationships in order, your family, your business, right? Everything, making sure everything is in order. Because I think sometimes there's too much of the, like where we lack balance, where some people are so unhealthy and all they do is think about money, or there are broke people that just focus on health. But with Andrew, his thing was, listen, be the best version of yourself in every area of your life. And I made sure to do that. Make sure that I have my health in order, I have my relationships in order, and I also have my money in order. And I think many people kind of forget that because they always are so fixated on money, but everything works with each other. So if you have your health and relationships in order, I bet you your money will be in order as well, and vice versa. So that's a huge thing I learned. Be disciplined, but also be disciplined in every area of your life. Everybody knows his famous rant on depression isn't real. And I remember when I first heard it, it made sense to me. His whole thing was that if I don't believe that something is real, how can it be real to me, right? So just like ghost, if it's late night and you hear a noise, if you believe in ghosts, you might think it's a ghost. But if you just think, hey, it's just, the wind, then you believe it's the wind. So in the same way, if your mind doesn't allow you to believe that depression is not real, so when you have these negative feelings, how can your mind go to something that you don't believe is real? Like that made perfect sense to me. I mean, of course, physically your body feels a certain way when you're depressed, but if you force your mind to believe that, yeah, this depression thing isn't real, my life is good, it's actually just forcing a perspective that is going to benefit you instead of having a perspective in your mind that takes away from you and that does not bring any positivity into your life. So I always love that depression is not real, common, and it was very controversial as well. People are always getting mad about it, but no, I completely understand. If I don't think that negative events and being depressed is even a thing, how can I ever tap into that? Like I'll literally go, yeah, like this is not real. I'm just feeling down right now. That's all. And last but not least, what he taught me, which he practiced, was that attention is currency. So don't consume, produce. And who better to actually practice what he preached than Tate, right? And this is in 2020 when he was talking about how attention is currency and how everybody should be producing. And that's true. Right now, we live in an attention economy where everyone's trying to get your attention. And if you have attention, you have a lot of power, right? So produce content instead of consuming it. Consuming is taking away from you. Consuming is taking your mental energy, your mental bandwidth away from you. When you produce, you put yourself out there. You are literally creating. You're a creative, right? So attention is currency. Whatever business you're in, attention will not affect your business in a negative way. Get attention by producing content. And that's what I'm doing right now, producing content. And those are the main things I learned from Andrew that just changed my whole life. I thank that guy a lot just for giving me hope in my life, just, always teaching me things that I feel like I never got to learn when I was growing up, and just giving me perspectives that when I adopted into my life became better. better. And again, listen, you guys might not agree with me, you guys might not agree with Tate, but one thing I've learned is to learn from people. You know, you can learn anything from people, even if you don't like them, good or bad, right? And I learned a lot of good from people. I do believe Tate's a positive role model. I don't really get into the drama of whatever is going on, but Tate genuinely helped me become a better person in my life and helped me in my journey to make millions in my 20s. And I couldn't be more grateful for him. One thing that he said when I texted him about, you know, whatever I was doing back in 2020 was that he said, just to start, keep going. And I always remember that. And anyone that I mentor, anyone that I help, I always tell them the same thing. It's just to start, keep going. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to be making more videos. Share this with your friends. And I really do hope that you learned something from this video, and comment down below what other videos you want to see from me, because I'm going to go heavy with producing content. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.